I'm going to move for a minute over to Arizona now because this is our backyard here, and I'm wondering, do you have any updates on the political scene here? I know you are like highly connected, so just take a minute.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Arizona's becoming a magnet. I mean, it's getting national and international attention. And as you know, we're very well connected down here and very much have the pulse to not only Arizona, but really the rest of the country. And, of course, the border crisis. Don't get me started. I'm going to update only because I'm sure not a lot of the folks in the audience have heard this, but you remember, Val, Captain James and I now appear on a brand new radio show. It's called MAGA Matters. It's on the America Matters radio, media, America Matters Media, founded by wonderful Eddie Floyd, Medal of Honor Eddie Floyd. We did MAGA Matters, and the captain's obviously, Captain McCormick's always really interested in Arizona and the tragedy at the border. So on that show, and I'm just going to repeat a few of these numbers. I'm going off my mind. I'm going off my head here, Val. So bear with me. It's past my bedtime out here. It's past my bedtime. Anyhow, shout out to everybody out there from Sheriff Mark Lamb. I sound like a broken record because I'm real concerned about the election in November. So if I sound like a broken record, I guarantee it's for good reason. People are asking me, Val, as you can imagine, from all over, what's going on in Arizona? How's the election look? And also, how's the border look? Not the garbage that we see in the media. There is some truth-telling in the media right out there, but not from the alphabets. And definitely, as you know, banned in Canada. Canadians aren't grown up enough to see the news going on down here, the real news, the boots on the ground news, skates on the ice news. So Sheriff Lamb, I had texted him probably maybe a half hour before the show. He reaches out to everybody. He would have dropped in. He would have parachuted in tonight, Val, to say hi to everybody. He loves our military, active and veterans. He loves our law enforcement, active and veterans. Anyone who's ever met Sheriff Mark Lamb or has worked with him, he's got people coming from out of state to work for him, Val. What you see is what you get. I'm really concerned that he gets elected. He's running against Carrie Lake down here. I've always said, any good Republican's going to say whether Mark Lamb or Carrie Lake wins, we're going to support them 100% in the U.S. Senate. We need to have that 51st vote. Taking the Senate back's really critical. So a lot of Arizona is stirring kind of politics that way, Val, and don't you know? Goodness, you've done some deep dive research into actually both those campaigns and other campaigns, because that's what you do. So I would just say everybody down here, a huge important date in Arizona is June 30th. That is the official Republican primary, and it's basically going to be Carrie Lake versus Mark Lamb. Mark Lamb, just as a side note and kind of Greg Meakin insider scoop, he's kind of been ignored by the national media. He's kind of been underestimated, ignored, whatever. He does not have what the East Coast elites would probably say is whatever creds. Yeah, he's just a great guy who saves lives down here in Arizona. But anyhow, so he's been kind of ignored back east. A very obviously popular guy down here. But I really mean this. I'm saying anyone in Arizona and anyone out there for all these other major elections. James, you guys got a lot coming up in West Virginia. Anyhow, so I do really recommend everyone get to the polls this year, and I mean everywhere, because you must win in this era. You must win by overwhelming numbers. Okay, you must, because there's still going to be garbage and nonsense and shenanigans behind the scenes. We're not as good. As, quote, Republicans or folks who will be voting for Trump. I'm saying it's about an 80 million vote head start where people I really believe would vote today for him. Don't let the media tell you differently. So Sheriff Lamb for Senate.com, seriously, Sheriff Lamb for Senate.com if anyone wants to pitch in at all. He and his wife Janelle have got great books out there. So I really wanted to catch up on that. And my prediction is Lamb's going to win. Write it down. I'd go to Vegas with it, but that's just me. and I've been saying it for, this, Val, 2 years. Anyhow, when he announced. The other big issue is the border. I'm not going to go into it real in depth, but it's the grease fire. It's a tragedy. Sheriff Lamb, when I was on MAGA Matters, had said, please make everybody aware. Please make everybody aware of the 37,000 Chinese nationals, male age, fighting age, whatever, military age, in 2023. And that is on track to be doubled in 2024. And I'm talking Chinese nationals. So they hit like 20,000 in just January and February of this year. So there's my Arizona update, Val. It was a little bit wordy, but you might have anything you want to add on the Arizona. And I would just want to tell you, Arizona is really watching stuff from in the country, and not only in Arizona, but they're watching people like you and me right now, Val. A number 2 city on my YouTube channel right now jumped to Phoenix, Arizona. How about that? Number 1 still Calgary. I still can't put Calgary. Anyhow, back to you on that. Quick, I blabbered a little bit, but there's your Arizona